every waking moment, Donald Trump treats the Constitution like his own personal toilet paper. I mean, the guy boasted nonstop about restoring law and order, but now that he's president, he has absolutely no care in the world for law and order. And now, with Trump's recent nonsense, he has been put on blast by a federal judge. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avallone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, Trump is continuously facing legal obstacles, mainly because he continuously tries to break the law. We just covered the other day the California governor, Gavin Newsom, going behind Trump's back. But now, Newsom is stepping it up a notch. He recently announced he is going to be suing the Trump administration over the tariffs.
Today, I announced a lawsuit on behalf of the state of California suing the Trump administration. California is the largest manufacturing state in our union, one of the largest trading partners around the globe. No state will be impacted more than the state of California as it relates to the unilateral authority that's being asserted by the Trump administration to impose the largest tax increase in modern American history.
Truthfully, Gavin Newsom has good reason for opposing Trump's insane tariffs. In fact, recently, the Federal Reserve chair sat down and discussed Trump's damage to the economy.
The level of tariff increases announced so far is significantly larger than anticipated, and the same is likely to be true of the economic effects, which will include higher inflation and slower growth.
So Trump is racking up enemies just like he's racking up tax evasion charges. And now, to make matters worse, even though the Trump administration has recognized their own error in deporting a man to an El Salvador prison, they're now refusing to bring him back.
As you know, we've been following the case of Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Undocumented migrant from El Salvador, married an American woman, has a kid, living the American dream. Until the Trump administration sent him to an El Salvadorian mega prison by, and I'm quoting the Justice Department here, if I may, is an administrative error. If only there was a convenient and timely way that the prisoner could be brought back to the United States that wouldn't really inconvenience either nation.
President Bukele at the moment flying from El Salvador to Washington, D.C.
Recently, Republican Chuck Grassley tried to defend the Trump administration deporting an innocent man. He was met with quite a lot of backlash.
Supreme Court said to bring him back.
Judges are, and the president is upholding the Constitution.
He's defying the
You're on the
Constitution.
Judiciary Committee.
Trump don't care.
If I get an order to pay a ticket for $1,200 and I just say no, does that stand up? Because he's got an order from the Supreme Court and he's just said no.
Yeah. He just said, screw it. The Trump wanted to bring him back. Bring him back.
Of course, all of this nonsense has culminated to the moment you've been waiting for, when a federal judge has put Trump on blast, leaving him completely and utterly stunned.
U.S. District Judge Paula Xinis, who's overseeing Kilmar Abrego Garcia's case, is now weighing contempt proceedings against the Trump administration for failing to act in returning Abrego Garcia back to the U.S. During a hearing yesterday, Xinis scolded Justice Department officials for doing nothing to facilitate Abrego Garcia's release from El Salvador's notorious prison, telling them to cancel vacations and other appointments in order to comply with a 2-week inquiry into the matter. She added there will be no tolerance for gamesmanship or grandstanding. In an 8-page written order, Xinis said 4 senior officials from Homeland Security and the State Department must sit for depositions by next Wednesday to produce details under oath about their attempts to bring him back. Xinis also called out the Trump administration for its semantics over the word facilitate in its read of both her order and the Supreme Court's order. In a status report ahead of yesterday's hearing, a Trump administration attorney wrote that even if Abrego Garcia does make it back to the U.S., the administration will only deport him again. For his part, President Trump continues to argue he won the decision 9-0, and that the matter is entirely in the hands of El Salvador.
The Trump administration has been resisting. They have not done a single thing to try to get this guy back.
Well, this judge absolutely gave the Trump administration an earful, but it's exactly what they deserve. Donald Trump has no regard whatsoever for the law of this country or for any of the founding principles. Even J.D. Vance recently tweeted that we should be able to deport people without due process, or that due process is conditional or something. The Constitution is abundantly clear about this, stating that even if somebody is in this country illegally, they are still owed due process. But honestly, this is a good thing. Somebody, somewhere needs to hold the Trump administration accountable because Trump is a total moron. He is ridiculously out of his depth, and every day that he is allowed to continue with his antics, America suffers.